who is wanting to empower you and be a catalyst for you to create the most amazing life, spiritually rich life, an abundant life, a life that's vibrant and fulfilling for you. So I have a question I want to ask you today. And the question is, have you ever found yourself saying this? Why is this happening to me? It could be that at work your boss is giving you more responsibility and less pay. It could be your hours are being cut. It could be that something's shifting in your relationship. Maybe it's relationship with your mom, with your family members. It could be a shift in your business and you find yourself with why. It could be that you have an enormous expansion in your business that you hadn't planned for. And you can still hear yourself saying, oh my God, why did this happen? Because you weren't prepared for it. It could be in your health where you've worked really hard, done your exercise, and you get in there to see the doctor and the doctor says there's still more to be done. Or when you get one thing straight, then something else seems to become the issue. Or maybe it's in your money. Financially, you have money and maybe you make money, but you just don't see the results of that money. Or you just have enough and you're not able to manage that. And then a bill comes or there's a flat tire, because it doesn't take much in those situations to just kind of throw you off your game. And you find yourself saying, why is this happening to me? And I want to come to you and tell you, you are not alone. You're not the only one. I suspect many of us ask that question. I can remember asking that question when I was a young girl. My family sent me to live with my brother, who I didn't really know that much. And I went through abusive experience there. I can remember asking that question after finally getting myself into grad school, because no one in my family had ever gone to college. And I'd done really well the first semester of my first year. And the second semester of my first year, I got a D in one of my core classes. And the women who were over the social work department were saying, well, it's a core course. You have to take it, so you can't continue. You have to come back a year from now, because that's when we offer the class again. And I remember thinking, why is this happening to me? What the heck are you guys talking about? And then, the one that really broke my heart was the custody experience with my son. And I remember saying, why is this going on? That, ultimately the goal is to create an incredible parenting experience for this child. And every time I was in those experiences, I don't know about you, but I felt like such a victim. And I felt alone. I had my pity parties. I certainly had my crew that I could call and say, look what they did to me. This is not fair. You know how you have them? And of course, they always line up to support you. So they're like, oh yeah, that's not fair. That shouldn't be happening to you. But I would do that over and over, and I never got anywhere. I just called someone, told the story, and they acknowledged the story, but it didn't move me forward. So I want to share something with you that began to move me forward. And it was changing my perspective. And the perspective was, instead of, why is this happening to me? I came up with two. One is, what is happening through me? Not that life is happening to me, life is happening through me. And it's the three ways it happens to each of us. It's through the thoughts we think, the words we speak, or the actions we either do or do not take. And then I recently heard one of my coaches who's going through a difficult experience, and she said she wasn't looking at why is life happening to me. She was looking at how is life happening for me. That all the experiences we go through are for us. They're for our growth. They're for our development. They're for us to expand into this great, amazing vision of each of us that we want to do, we want to be, so that we're not playing small. So oftentimes when we're looking in those situations like, oh God, why me? Why me? Because it's time for us to grow. Just think, wherever you are right now, wherever you want to go next, you can't get there being who you are right now. You will have to grow. You'll have to expand. Your thinking will have to shift. Your perspectives will have to be bigger. And so what would it mean for you to be able to take each one of these experiences where you find yourself saying, why me? And recognize you have the power to choose how you'll respond to it. You have the power to choose how you'll speak about it. And you have the power to also decide not only what you're going to think, what you're going to speak, but also what you're going to think and feel about. So instead of reacting, because that's so much what we do, something happens, the car breaks down, this happens at work, this happens with our clients or in our business, our first thought is, oh my God, what am I going to do? And we want to react. And the two things that I'm offering you, two different perspectives, is one, to be able to look at it and say, life doesn't happen to me. Life happens through me based on the thoughts I think, the words I speak, and the actions I either do or do not take. Or Life doesn't happen to me. Life is happening for me, for my growth, for my development, for my expansion, for greater joy. See, if you want greater joy and you want greater love and you want greater money and abundance, you want greater fulfilling moment, you want greater love and sexiness in your life, there's a part of you that's going to have to grow out of the old you to embrace the new you that's becoming. And so much of our becoming happens through us being uncomfortable. It comes from us being shaken up from just our everyday doing the same thing, unconscious living, and causing us and calling us to step into the present moment. So the next time you hear yourself saying, why is this happening to me on this day of all times? Take a breath. Catch your breath for just a moment. And say to yourself, I have the power within me to decide how I choose to respond to this situation. Be it at work, be it your boss, be it your family, be it your relationship, your health, your doctor, your money. You have the power within you to choose how you're going to respond. And you can look at it from the perspective that life is going to happen to me based on the thoughts I think about it, the words I speak about it, and the actions I either do or not take on it. Life's going to happen to me because this is for my next step, for what I'm becoming, who I'm becoming. We can't get from here to there without some way to shake off the old to allow the new to unfold. If you look at any great person's journey, you're going to see they were constantly unfolding, constantly becoming who it was that they were supposed to be. We don't just, I know we'd love to get to that place where, okay, I've arrived. I don't have to do anything else. I have become all that I'm going to become. And yet that's not the case, because there's a bigger picture. And when we begin to live our lives from that perspective, that there's a bigger picture going on here, that our souls are developing, that our consciousness is being elevated, or at least has the potential to be elevated, that the human spiritual being that we really are has the power to really show up in our life, in our interactions, in our experiences. When we really get that, then instead of running away from being uncomfortable, we can be the creators in our life such that we create our own uncomfortableness because we know we're ready to grow. So it's just something for you to think about. It's a perspective that helped me shift out of being the victim and saying, poor me, and why is everybody doing this to me, and walking around with a big old V on the back of my chest, on my chest and on the back of my back, to really recognize that I have the power to decide how I'm going to respond to everything that happens, from getting my lights cut off, to filing for bankruptcy, to going through divorce. I get to respond to that. I get to choose. And I can decide today that out of each of these experiences, there's a wonderful nugget that I'm supposed to get that's going to help me become and help you become the most amazing person that you're seeking to be. It's going to help you become that great speaker, that great author, the great mom, the great lover, the great father, whatever it is, fireman, policeman. It's going to move you to step into that. So instead of pushing back from what's happening, I need you to be present. I need you to just breathe and know that you have the power within you to discern how you're going to experience what's happening in your life. It's either happening to you if you want to be a victim and you want to forget how powerful you really are, or it's happening through you or for you to guide you to your next greatest version of you. I'm Janine Macklin of Spirit and Riches. Please feel free to leave me some comments. You can find me, though, at www.spiritandriches.com. And when you go there, you'll join our amazing, bubbly community of 12,000 incredible human beings and spiritual beings. We'd love to embrace you. When you arrive there, you'll get a freebie that says 3 steps to greater power, passion, and purpose. That'll be there for you, as well as you can join our prosperity prayer, which we have every third Thursday of the month. I look forward to connecting with you.